Support for this podcast comes from St. Alphonsus Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Clinics, with physicians, physical therapists, and trainers who treat sports and performance-related injuries, with locations across the valley. More information on services and locations at stalphonsus.org/stayactive.
From Boundary to Bear Lake, Fremont to Payette, Oahe to Oneida, there are interesting people, places, and histories in all of Idaho's counties. And Idaho Matters wants to share it with you with stories from all 44 counties that make up the Gem State. Email your ideas to idahomatters@boisestate.edu or use the Talk to Us feature in our app, available on Apple and Android, and tune in each weekday at noon for Idaho Matters.
From Boise State Public Radio, this is The Connector. It's Idaho's Daily News. Good morning. I'm George Prentice. So today we will tell you how the National Interagency Fire Center has raised the national fire preparedness level. Fireworks, verbal fireworks at a Ketchum City Council meeting. Big news from the U.S. Department of Energy concerning Idaho. And the price of gas just took a big jump in a very short amount of time. All of these stories are just ahead, so away we go. In Ketchum, residents did not hold back this week as city council members quickly backed off a proposed pay increase. James Dawson reports.
What the hell is wrong with you? How can you think this is appropriate?
That's Perry Boyle, who unsuccessfully ran for city council in the past. He and several other Ketchum residents dismissed the pay hike proposal, which would have raised salaries from about $28,000 a year up to $70,000. Juanita Young was another who joined in.
It is a service, and if you don't like what you're getting paid, which I understand, you can resign.
Councilmember Courtney Hamilton says she understands the push for higher pay.
I, for the last 2 years, have attempted to have a full-time 40-hour-a-week job plus city council, and I can say that it is not sustainable.
But she says the idea should have been brought months ago to discuss, instead of shortly before a legal deadline later this month. Councilmember Spencer Cordovano agreed to withdraw his proposal, but warned the issue will not go away.
We have a working-class council now. Kiss it goodbye. With the way that real estate prices have gone, 28 grand hardly gets you strawberries at the store in this town.
James Dawson, Boise State Public Radio News.
The U.S. Department of Energy is leveraging federal land, that to win the global AI race. And Hannah Mersbach reports it has selected 4 sites to build and innovate data center development, one of them here in Idaho.
The Idaho National Lab has a large swath of land. It stretches across the high desert of eastern Idaho, roughly 85% the size of Rhode Island. It has a long history of nuclear energy research, and now commercial developers are set to be invited in to build data centers.
It has the advantage, right, of having existing nuclear facilities already on that site location.
The lab's Chris Ritter says the site has power available and is developing small nuclear modular reactors, but they're not here yet. He says to meet the demand now, the U.S. must deploy all kinds of energy, like natural gas.
If we don't have the energy generation capacity, it's really hard to win the AI race.
The U.S. says it's trying to accelerate AI and energy development to build the next Manhattan Project, which gave birth to the atomic bomb. For the Mountain West News Bureau, I'm Hannah Mersbach.
The National Interagency Fire Center in Boise has raised the national fire preparedness level. They score things on a 1 to 5 scale, and now the nation currently is at level 4. What that means in NIFC's description is, quoting here, national resources are heavily committed, and national mobilization now affects all geographic areas and occur over large distances. Right now, we have wildfires on both the east and west coast, and Canadian wildfires are pouring smoke across the Great Lakes and into the northeast of the U.S. In Idaho, there are 10 active wildfires at different stages this morning. And on Tuesday, the University of Idaho shared that a major grant from the National Science Foundation will support U of I researchers tasked with tackling the toughest wildfire challenges. Jamie Geary reports.
9 new doctoral fellowship positions will be created in the College of Natural Resources. They will study wildfire behavior and prevention and forest regeneration. Jessica Meisel is an associate professor of forest, rangeland, and fire sciences. She said in a press release that wildland fire is complex because it's both catastrophic to human communities and essential to natural ecosystems. She said an interdisciplinary approach to fire research is important. Participants can earn their doctorates in one of 3 programs: bioinformatics and computational biology, environmental science, or water resources. Earlier this year, the White House froze all funding for the foundation. Since then, the foundation's website says it's investing in new initiatives to, quote, strengthen our domestic workforce to fuel economic prosperity, national security, and global science and engineering competitiveness. Jamie Geary, Boise State Public Radio News.
Gas has taken another significant increase, according to the AAA this morning. The average price for a gallon of unleaded in Idaho is $3.52. That is a 7-cent jump in just one day and about 14 cents higher than a month ago. The highest prices are in Blaine, Valley, and Adams counties. The lowest prices in Idaho are in Latah and Nez Perce counties. Stephanie Henry is over at the National Weather Service this morning. Stephanie, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
A lot of change this week, or so it seems, right?
Yeah, there's been a lot going on.
What can you tell us about, well, some of the elements or conditions that are making all the change in the forecast?
Well, we did have a pretty active pattern that was bringing us thunderstorms nearly every day for the past several weeks, but we have transitioned out of that. We did have a cold front go through a couple days ago, but now we're in kind of a little warmer, drier pattern for today. It won't last too long. We're going to start having an increase of winds today with a little bit of warmer temperatures ahead of a cold front that's going to arrive tomorrow. That cold front will bring us down several degrees by Thursday. We are going to see some thunderstorms up by McCall potentially. And then on Friday, we are looking at temperatures potentially as low as 10 to 15 degrees below normal behind that cold front. But we are going to go into a drier pattern beginning, a little after that cold front goes through. So Friday into the rest of the period, the weekend into early next week, expect some warming temperatures and potentially getting hot towards mid next week, early next week.
So hot as in what, the 90s again?
Yeah, unfortunately, we're going to go from these 80s we have right now up to, I would say, mid-90s by sometime late weekend or, I would say around Monday, Tuesday. We're looking at mid-90s.
Well, summer isn't done with us yet, that's for sure.
Not quite.
Stephanie Henry is over at the Weather Service here in Boise. Stephanie, have a good Wednesday.
Yeah, thank you. You too.
And that is today's episode of The Connector. I'm George Prentice. We'll see you back here on Thursday. To stay in touch with the news between now and then, check out BoiseStatePublicRadio.org or download the free Boise State Public Radio app. And thanks for listening.